Community and Postmodernism. Community is a sitcom created by Dan Harmon. It lasted for 6 seasons and had 110 episodes. It was created in the USA and the distributor was Sony Pictures Television. The plot of Community. Jeff Winger finds out his degree has been revoked and is forced to go back to school at Greendale Community College. He sets up a study group and invites a fellow student in order to score points with her. To his surprise, she wasn't the only one to show up for help with Spanish from the board-certified tutor he proclaims himself to be. Although his knowledge of the language is far from good, the members continue to meet every week and end up learning lots about themselves and each other. Harmon based the programme on his own experiences attending a community college. Each episode was written in accordance with Harmon's story circle template, designed to create a structured storyline. Harmon was the series showrunner for its first 3 seasons, and he was fired prior to the 4th. Then, due to popular demand, he was rehired for the show's 5th broadcast season, after which it was cancelled by NBC. Yahoo Screen commissioned a 6th season, which premiered on March 17, 2015, and concluded on June 2nd with the series finale. This represents postmodernity as it's self-referential, as Harmon based the plot on his own life experiences. The relationship between TV and postmodernity. The relationship between TV shows and postmodernity is that they can use intertextual references to reference other TV shows which are iconic, modernising the view from the audience. The idea of this is that the audience will automatically recognise the reference and relate it back to what they already know. An example of this is Community and the Paintball episode. Programmes such as Community highlight this massively, constantly throughout all of their episodes. Especially within this show, they highlight a lot of intertextuality, bringing in other references from previous films such as Die Hard. Community do a lot by including several iconic objects from the film Die Hard, which the viewers would be familiar to, an instant view of the presentation of the location and the way the scene is carried out. This includes things such as slow-motion paintballing scenes and being very overdramatic, including pastiche as they are imitating the film. It allows the audience to become highly familiar with the programme and how they can make their own interpretation of the show and what they can involve to make it more entertaining for the audience. It is clearly signifying the direct link to Star Wars and how it can be altered to tailor for the audience of Community. This differs the audience to what they are used to and therefore offering them more than normal. How is Community postmodern? Many TV shows appear to be postmodern in different ways. The one key feature of postmodern TV is that shows can use intertextual references to reference other TV shows which are iconic. The idea of this is that the audience will automatically recognise and relate them to one another. An aspect of the reference is that the audience would be expected to have a good understanding of the intertextual reference. However, if the audience don't really recognise the film, it could get very confusing for them. That's why directors tend to use very famous films like Harmon used Die Hard as an example for one of the episodes. So other postmodern features within Community is the Spanish study group, as they don't actually study Spanish, which is a very weird thing. Each character relate really well, but they all have very different backgrounds, which is weird because you don't necessarily see that in a TV program. Normally, like the way they all relate is they all are at the community college, but all for different reasons. So, like, one of the girl became a drug addict and went into rehab and had to leave school. Obviously, Jeff Winger, the main character's degree got revoked. Like, some of them moved country. It just depends on the character. There's very pastiche-themed episodes. Like, there's a Western episode and a sci-fi one, which relates to Star Wars, which is obviously intertextual as well. And there's quite a lot of meta-narratives, and it replaces family with the study group. The father figure is the older man who's actually in need of the most care. The lead couple who never get together. The overachiever is the drug addict who dropped out and had to go into rehab. The loner is comfortable with his eccentricity and solitude, and the single mother whose children are just the periphery. So it's very weird, like all the characters are oppositional to what you'd expect them to be, which makes the show even more postmodern.